Which celebrities ruined their career in a split second, and how did they manage to do it? That time beloved Heisman winner NFL legend comedic actor O.J. Simpson committed that double homicide. Allegedly. Ashlee Simpson's SNL fiasco. Bob Parsons, founder of GoDaddy. He was rolling in the riches until his vacation video surfaced where he is seen standing next to an endangered elephant which he had shot and killed. The video then switches to a clip of about 30-40 African villagers pulling apart and eating said elephant raw. Now, it wouldn't have been so bad if the villagers hadn't all been wearing bright orange GoDaddy hats. Talk about a PR nightmare. The original video is still on YouTube somewhere. Edit. RIP inbox. Sinead O'Connor, for standing against child abuse and denouncing the church. The guy behind the whole Connie 2012 movement had a mental breakdown at the peak of its popularity. Jennifer Grey hit stardom in the mid-late 80s with Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Dirty Dancing. Then had plastic surgery that left her unrecognizable. And barely got any roles ever since. Nobody puts baby in the corner. But a botched nose job will. Jerry Lee Lewis when he married his 13-year-old cousin. And went from being an international rock star to an outcast. However, he did revive his career when he went back to his country roots. More a story about how a celebrity ruined themselves in my family's eyes. For the film Finding Neverland. About 30 seconds was filmed in our garden. Naturally it took several days. I was on a school trip at the time so missed the action. I was 10, it was also my birthday. My parents thought it would be nice if they could get Johnny Depp and Kate Winslet to sign my birthday card as they were basically living in a trailer in outside our neighbor's house. Johnny Depp was fantastic and even wrote me a little message which I have since treasured. Kate on the other hand refused to even sign the card or speak to my parents. It only takes 1 second to go from great actress to selfish bitch. Robin Thicke, while it started with grinding with Miley on the VMAs. His hand up the skirt of young woman while married to Paula Patton finished it. Pete Rose, caught betting on baseball while a player manager in the league including on his own team. Was ruled ineligible for the Hall of Fame despite surefire Hall of Fame numbers. Has probably cost himself millions in potential earnings though he is now back as a Fox analyst 25 years later. Aaron Hernandez. He was a tight end for the New England Patriots. In 2013 at the age of 23 he killed a man and is now serving life in prison without the possibility of parole. Gwyneth Paltrow plugged an expensive handbag on her website and pissed off soccer moms everywhere. The opposite answer of this is David Letterman. He cheated on his wife and announced it on his show. His PR team handled it very well and there was barely any backlash for him. Azealia Banks and her feud with Zayn. It scared off the little remaining fanbase she had after years of pointless Twitter drama. Now she live streams cooking recipes on Facebook. What a waste of talent. Famous Finnish TV host Axel Smith got caught of using hidden cameras in his bedroom to record him having sex with dozens of women. He was hosting The Voice of Finland at the time of the event and was resigned mid-season. He moved to London and haven't been on Finnish television since. Bill Cosby. His actions weren't in a matter of a split second but once his past got out it sure did. Milli Vanilli. Turns out they wasn't singing any of the songs. I mean at all. They was miming and got caught out performing live. Paula Deen admitted that she said a word that shall not be spoken like 20 years ago after a robbery. Bad idea. There is exponentially less butter consumption on the airwaves nowadays. David Hasselhoff. Not that he had one to speak of at the time. But sometimes when you're that drunk you just gotta go to bed. Leave the hamburger on the floor. Go to bed. Leave the hamburger on the floor. Megan Fox made one offhand comment about how working for Michael Bay was like working for Hitler and Steven Spielberg advised Michael Bay to cut her from the Transformers franchise because it offended him so much. Cat Williams tried to fight a 12-year-old and got his ass beat. Christian Slater in the late 90s when he attacked his girlfriend and a cop while on drugs. He's starting to come back with the success of MR. Robot and his guest appearances on Archer. Meg Ryan. She was America's sweetheart after dethroning Julia Roberts. I remember how dads liked her. And how moms felt safe taking their teenage daughters with them to watch her movies. Then proof of life happened. Katherine Heigl couldn't stop herself from being a BTCH and now does kitty litter commercials. Billy Bush was recently kicked off of NBC for being a part of the grab them by the pussy interview, along with his own lewd behavior. Considering he was a D-list celebrity to begin with. I can't imagine how he'll resurrect or salvage his career. That is unless Trump makes him press secretary or something god-awful. David Cameron when he bet the British public wouldn't vote to do something silly like leave the European Union. Haven't heard from him since. Dr. Phil when he put Shelley Duvall on his show. FCK him. He doesn't deserve the title Dr. Billy Squier with his music video Rock Me Tonight. Previously he had this image of a cool rock and roll legend. In Rock Me Tonight he dances around in this pink tank top and slim pants. And gave off more of an aura of a pretty boy which was very much not his aesthetic. A mix of homophobia and just a general disconnect with his whole image made almost his whole fan base turn on a dime. He did several interviews later on talking about what it was like for him before and after and it's pretty interesting. Bo Derek. Her movie 10 was a hit and made her an international Hollywood superstar overnight. But she allowed her husband to manage her career who put her in lousy movies that were nothing but excuses for her nude scenes. Her career took a nosedive. The movie Bolero finished it off for good. She still did some acting work. But not as an international superstar in movies anymore. Small time celebrity here. But Jay Mariotti, sports commentator and writer, lost his job at ESPN, including a prominent role in the daily sports talk show Around the Horn, after he was charged with 7 misdemeanors in connection with a domestic disturbance claim against him. He served 3 years probation. He still blogs and has had a few projects pop up and fizzle away. But never returned to the prominence he had in the mid-2000s. The owner of the Clippers said that he didn't want his girlfriend banging black dudes and posting pictures on Facebook lol. I was going to say Miley Cyrus. But she didn't ruin her career. She just made millions of her Hannah Montana fans cry. Tara Reid after her failed plastic surgeries. John Wilkes Booth once you kill a president they just don't let you do plays anymore. Eartha Kitt when she attended a White House luncheon. Was asked about the Vietnam War by Lady Bird Johnson and replied stating that you send the best of this country off to be shot and maimed. No wonder the kids rebel and take pot. And the children of America are not rebelling for no reason. They are not hippies for no reason at all. We don't have what we have on Sunset Boulevard. For no reason. They are rebelling against something. There are so many things burning the people of this country. Particularly mothers. They feel they are going to race on and I know what it's like. And you have children of your own. MRS. Johnson so raise children and send them to war. Double quote. I personally love Eartha. She is an amazing role model and I feel horrible that her speaking the truth caused her to be branded a sadistic nymphomaniac and ruined her career in the US. The sadistic nymphomaniac branding does not make sense at all since she expressed views which opposed that. How about Jennifer Grey? She was in some big movies from the 80s then got a nose job and no one recognized her and her career dried up. I'd say Tom Cruise after jumping on Oprah's couch and declaring his love for Katie Holmes. I know he is still making movies but they are just franchise movies. Mission Impossible and Jack Reacher. It was really weird and I think it put off a lot of people. The whole Scientology thing doesn't help either. He hasn't made a memorable movie since. Roseanne Barr. One screechy irreverent national anthem and she became history. Barr has been trying to get back in the spotlight in recent years. Running for office. But nobody cares Roseanne. Double quote. IDK if I'd consider him a celebrity, but Romney really screwed himself over in 2012 with the 47% comment. It's never the same after she shaved her head bald. I feel like Alec Baldwin had fallen out of public grace between his words with friends on an airplane incident and when he left a scathing, verbally abusive voicemail for his own daughter that made its way to the press. But he pretends to be Donald Trump on SNL now, so everything is okay. Stroke. I don't know if anyone remembers Danny Heatley, pro NHL player. He killed his teammate in a freak car accident. I knew him in college and he was actually a pretty great guy. He was just too young. Traded to another team and he was quite literally booed off the ice. Was never able to play again. Tonya Harding. Her then husband and bodyguard hired a hitman to injure a competitor. She knew about it but didn't intervene. Rip her figure skating career. Nice try. BuzzFeed. Elizabeth Berkley. Showgirls ruined her, although she's still in my top 5 celebrity exception list. Kristen Stewart when she cheated on her vampire boyfriend with a married director. I think it ruined both their careers and his marriage and her relationship. Before, she was an A-list actress. Now not so much. Edit. Don't get me wrong. I like her and like some of her movies I have seen. Zombieland was fun, for example. What I really found short-sighted of her was that she had said in an interview that she wanted life to FCK her over, like she had the perfect life and everything had always been easy. Then came the shitstorm in a classic be careful what you wish for manner. But you're all right. She is still doing good movies and maybe now most people are over this and her career will pick up again. At the very least it brought her a few painful years in the critical spotlight. Can you actually say that? So tired and so German. Edit 2. Sorry. Sleep deprived mom and it was the middle of the night. I meant Adventureland, of course. Zombieland was awesome and of course she's not in it. Bob Greene is a pretty sad crash and burn story. Syndicated columnist. Respected author. Had an affair with a high school girl and it went public. He went down in flames. NPR tracked him down a few years later and he was still out of work and basically still in hiding. It was really sad. Not really a celebrity, but he was a presidential candidate. The Dean scream basically this politician was really excited cause he was doing really well on his political campaign and then he was at one of his rallies and said some things then screamed really weirdly after that. He was ruined. Michael Richards. Kramer from Seinfeld. Screamed racial profanities during a stand-up act. He hasn't been seen since. I kinda hope Jennifer Lawrence's career would nosedive after she was a massive BTCH to that French foreign press person trying to read a question in English to her off his phone. But alas. Janet Jackson's Super Bowl performance. She was one of the most popular singers in the world and has barely charted since. Dixie Chicks. Went from beloved country trio to completely shunned by the format in one sentence. Too late for this probably, but Carlos Mencia. For a while he was all over the place, then Joe Rogan flips out on him for stealing jokes. After that he completely vanished. George Lopez after he dissed his ex-wife who happened to give him one of her kidney. Howard Dean. With one yell he went from front runner for Democratic nominee to some weirdo. Topher Grace. Hit TV show he was the main character but wasn't even close to the best actor or most popular. Bails on a hit TV show to be a blockbuster movie actor and I'm unsure why he's still in anything. He plays himself in everything or that character. Sir David Bellamy was a very prominent British figure not too far from David Attenborough who decided one day that global warming wasn't real. And it ended his career on the spot. Well, it didn't end their career or anything. But it's been a slow declared beef for Metallica since the Black Album and the ridiculous makeup. They've never really recaptured the magic they once had.